If you work in sales, chances are you've encountered the dreaded RFP at some point. Yeah, this is a nightmare to fill out. It's long, it's complicated, and it comes in different formats. You can get Excel sheets, you can get Word docs, PDFs, online portals. Nobody wants to do this, but you have to. It's part of the sales experience, right? So maybe you've tried AI, you're getting some answers, but you're not sure if they're accurate, or worse, you have to fill them in manually one at a time, and you're wondering, how do I automate this process? How do I make it much easier? How do I move faster? I'm going to show you. So we're going to use OneUp to automate RFPs. If you don't have a OneUp account, sign up for a free trial. It takes 60 seconds to set up. And once you're in your knowledge base, you're going to want to load up some content that you think is going to be useful to generating answers. So in this case, we can pull in completed questionnaires, past RFPs that we did. We can pull in sources like Confluence or Google Drive, or in my case, I'm a big fan of web documentation. I've pulled in a couple thousand URLs from my website. So now when it comes time to automate an RFP or a questionnaire, I go to automate, I upload, and basically what I'm going to tell OneUp to do is use all that great content in my knowledge base to generate answers. So I'm going to give it some additional instructions like keep answers simple, no tech jargon, and I'm also going to tell OneUp to use my approved answers, my cybersecurity content, and my RFP library. Once that's done, OneUp is going to go to work, analyze, extract, and answer everything that it finds in this RFP questionnaire. And when it comes time to review, it looks something like this. Not only does OneUp extract and answer the questions, it actually puts the responses exactly where they belong. So you can see my answers have been pre-filled here. I can see my checkboxes are filled out. I know these are good responses because they're coming from my pre-approved library. And if I want to take another stab at a question, I can just highlight it, hit this guy in the bottom right, and OneUp will generate a new answer. This makes it a lot easier for me to not only get accurate, trusted answers quickly, but it also makes it easy for me to collaborate with my teammates. So if I have a question about a query, I can switch over to studio mode and assign it out to a teammate. So I could say, hey, Ed, take a look at this. I need your help. And Ed's going to get notified in Slack, Teams, and via email that he has to review and help me with this answer. So this is what we mean by real RFP automation. It's not just about getting an answer to a question. It's about actually autofilling it, being able to project manage it quickly, and being able to export it in the exact format that you get from your customer. So whether it's an Excel sheet, a Word doc, a PDF, OneUp is going to autofill the answers for you. You don't have to worry about doing that manual labor. Now I'm going to show you one thing that's really cool. When it comes time to share this completed RFP, I no longer have to just send it to my customer. I can actually give them a memorable experience. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share this as an answer hub. So I'm going to click share. I'm going to spin up an answer hub, and an answer hub creates a customer facing branded page that I can ship them when it comes time to review my responses. So it creates a branded customer page with your logo, your colors, basically make it look however you want. And it's got a couple of cool things in here. First of all, it has the completed RFP for them to download. It's also got the documents used to generate these responses. So I can add reference documents, case studies, basically anything that I want them to have as a completed RFP packet. But the best part is they can ask follow-up questions. So anytime you submit an RFP, you know that that customer is going to ask you follow-up questions, right? It's like they didn't even read it. But in this case, they can ask questions directly of my RFP response and get answers fast. They don't need to bother me. I don't need to loop anyone in. And I can actually see what they're asking if I monitor their chat history. So I can see exactly what this user is looking at, exactly what parts of my RFP they're asking about, and I can basically get a feel for how this customer is seeing us as a contender in this process. This is a really cool way to not only automate the response process, but actually ship your customer something that's dynamic and allows them to learn more about your company without distracting your teammates. The last thing I'll show you is the insights section. Once you've generated a couple hundred answers from OneUp, you're going to get access to the KB Insights. This is going to give you information about how OneUp is using your knowledge base, but most importantly, what your customers are asking. So you can see here that in the past RFP cycle, I've gotten 2 feature requests that we don't do. I'm definitely going to want to know about those. And I've also got a couple of strengths and weaknesses that I can monitor in my responses. Strengths would be areas where we're responding really well. Weaknesses would be answers that are kind of wishy-washy that we need to work on. So this is a great way to take AI and make it integral to your RFP process, not just use it for chat. Like, you really want to be able to get insights out of these documents, pass them along to your team, and then actually action this information instead of just submitting questionnaires and hoping you win the deal. So that's what we mean by AI-based RFP automation. If you like this, hit that free trial button. You'll be up and running in 60 seconds. And yeah, you'll never have to fill out an RFP manually again.